Hello everyone, it's Elizabeth Huston from Alpus Astrology at alpusastrology.com. Thanks for joining me today. So today I'm going to look at the astrological climate as I see it for February 2018. And if we look at the first half of February, it's dominated by a lot of planets actually in Aquarius. Now Aquarius can be a very exciting sign, certainly unusual. And another word is unexpected types of things, but it's not necessarily emotional. And it certainly has a strong humanitarian component as well. So we have the Sun, Mercury, and Venus, as well as the south nodes of the Moon, which have been in there for a while. Now, if we look at the influence of the south nodes of the Moon in Aquarius, we know that this is an area collectively where we're either to let go completely of different things in our lives to get on our real path of destiny, which is represented by the opposite sign, which is Leo, and that's our north nodes. The north nodes of the Moon represent the destiny of our collective right now, and also affect us individually in our individual charts. So what we need to look at are, well, what do these planets represent? So the Sun represents our inner essence, generally speaking, but it also represents males, maybe how our attitude towards males is or are. And Mercury represents not only the way we think, but the way we communicate, the way we actually speak. And you might hear my little dog that always seems to come on when I'm doing my taping. He seems to always be thirsty, but no, he's well taken care of. So the other planet is Venus, and Venus represents a number of things. And I see the big thing here for us, whether you're males or females, is the value of ourself, or the value we place on the services we give to others. But it also represents love too. So the south nodes of the Moon at this time, especially during the first half of February, is asking us, take another look at all these things. Are there things that you need to let go completely, or just things that you actually need to change that just haven't been working up to now? So I ask you to give that some consideration this month. Now on the 14th of February, which is Valentine's Day, and for those who celebrate it, happy Valentine's Day to you. Well, we have Venus actually in dreamy Pisces, which is a lovely place to have it. And of course, Pisces is ruled by Neptune. And you may remember that Neptune is actually the higher octave of Venus. So just as an individual influence with Venus actually in Pisces, this could be just a very romantic, a dreamy day for a lot of couples. So enjoy that. We also have at the same time the influence of Jupiter sextiling Pluto. Now it's not exact, but it is still there. And we also have Mars newly in Sagittarius. So this could actually be the beginning of some new relationships. With the Jupiter sextile Pluto, we are certainly looking at some real opportunities to evolve our higher consciousness. So connecting with Source, or if you call it the universe, some people call it God, but it is our higher selves. It's and it is an influence that lasts for some time, and is operating around the 14th as well. So I think those are just lovely aspects. Mars in Sagittarius just says, hey, let's have some fun and enjoy ourselves. So I hope that you are and do. Now it's the following day, the 15th of February, that we have this partial new moon eclipse in Aquarius. So we're still on the Aquarius train. Now this is the only moon of the month. So there's no full moons in February this year. And so this is a new moon, remember, which usually means new beginnings. Now remember back to the August 21st, 2017 eclipse that we had in Leo. Well, this new moon eclipse in Aquarius, and Aquarius is the opposite sign to Leo, it will basically be in that eclipse point in opposition. So it's significant in terms of us looking at where we've been for the past 6 months in terms of reviewing what we need to change, what we need to let go of, and then at this new moon, what do we need to make new now? And so the idea is, with the Aquarius south nodes of letting go, is at this new moon to make an intention of letting go, finally, in order to start something new, especially as it relates to our path of destiny. And I know I speak about that a lot in my videos, but last year and this year are particularly important for that, especially as Leo influences us expressing our authentic selves. That's all going to change, of course, when the nodes, or the nodal axis, especially the north nodes, go into Cancer in November, and then we have the south nodes in that very active sign of Capricorn. So I'm going to go over very briefly if this new moon eclipse in Aquarius is in any of your houses. And the houses are from 1 to 12. So if it's the first house, it's letting go of giving or asking too much. And instead, what is a more balanced emotional need that I can start now that really serves me? The second house is letting go of old values of yourself. Or many may decide a new set of values are important right now, and also a new way of valuing money that you make. The third house is communication style, generally speaking. So it's changing your communication style just to be better, so it assists you on your path of destiny. Now this also includes your thinking. So positive thinking wouldn't go amiss here, and certainly Eckhart Tolle is one of my esteemed gurus, if I can call him that. And so I would say anything by Eckhart Tolle at this time would be very useful for you. The fourth house is a change in your home that better suits you. Maybe acts as more of a comfort and an oasis for you, so that you feel good when you're under stress. So that's something that you consider. Maybe changing your home up, or getting a new home that better suits you. The fifth house is, I think about, especially since it's around Valentine's Day, is a new romance. But that's only after letting go of an old romance. But you know, in thinking about this and reflecting, it could be also an old way of doing romance that hasn't really been serving your romantic relationship. So that might be a way of creatively staying in a romantic relationship, but just doing it differently. Alternatively, this could be a time when you actually form a new romantic relationship. It also could be your children make a change and pick a new path to go on. You also could decide to start a new business at this time too. Those are all areas of the fifth house. Certainly the fifth house is all about your creative self. The sixth house is basically doing the day-to-day job differently, or maybe even getting a new day-to-day job, or investing in new health regimens or diet may be some kind of decision point at this time to again put you in a good situation mentally and physically on your path of destiny. The seventh house is letting go of old partnerships. Now that could be a business or romantic, and implementing new ways that actually do work to conduct these partnerships that you have. The eighth house is new ways of handling maybe joint savings, new ways of handling pensions, money. It can also be a new way of maybe delving into your inner depths, you know, your inner psychological self. A typical thing would be maybe going in for therapy that you maybe always wanted to do, and you find that, hey, this is a new therapy that's on that I would really like to try out, or a new therapist that you think could really help you. The ninth house is getting away for a break, either through the mind or physically taking a holiday or vacation. And foreign things may figure very prominently for you and provide some very interesting new avenues for again getting on your path of destiny. For the 10th house, this could be a decision for a new career, or a new career opens up for you via somebody from the outside. Or you could revise and change goals to make new goals for yourself. I mean, this is the beginning of the year typically when most people do that. setting intentions for what you want to do in 2018. Good time to do it if you've got the 10th house involved. So it may be letting go of one way of either doing a career or the actual career itself. It's not suiting you anymore and serving you. You may just decide, this isn't working for me, I need to change up. As well as those goals. So the 10th house rules the career and goals. The 11th house is new friends and groups. It also is the use of the internet. And so by letting go, basically, of, I would say, old friends and maybe old groups that just don't serve you, that don't help you represent your authentic self, for instance. This may be a decision point time where you say, I would like to make new friends that better represent who I am, and get into new groups that help develop my authentic self, that help me reach the goals that I want to reach. You may use the internet to do that. The 12th house, which is the final house, you may want to spend some alone time. This is kind of like a hidden house. It's ruled by Pisces. It is a very spiritual house as well. So this would be a great time to take up spiritual ideas or studies after letting go of the old ways of doing things. You could go to, say, a retreat that really gives you a lot of enlightenment and spiritual insight. This might be a good time to make that decision to do that. Now, there are a number of planets that actually, this is more like towards the mid to the end of February, that square Neptune. So Neptune figures pretty prominently, certainly for the last half of February, but generally speaking, all of February. Well, actually, in many ways, all of 2018, but let's just stick to February right now. So the planets, the first one on the 17th of February, the first planet is Mars. So Mars is all about action, energy. It's going to square Neptune. So there's a number of things this could represent. One basic one is sort of deceit and deceitful action, for instance. So somebody deceiving you, essentially. It also can bring up feelings of doubt, or perhaps other people around this time will try to tell you that you're on the wrong path, you're not doing the right thing. So stay strong. There's nothing wrong with consulting people and listening to people, but this year is supposed to be a year that we express our authentic selves. So always go back to that and ask, is this expressing my authentic self? And sometimes it plays to be strong and stick to your guns of what you want to do. The 22nd of Feb brings a Venus squaring Neptune. So this says to me that there might be some possible unrealistic ideas around romantic expectations. So you may put your partner on a pedestal, for instance, and the real person that's up on that pedestal may come to light later, but around this time, the 22nd of Feb, you can't see that. So I would say there should be a lot of care taken in any new relationships. It doesn't mean that it won't work out. It's quite possible it will. But ones that are started around this time, the 22nd of Feb, there could be some, illusions that you don't see till later. Now, at worst, this is a breakdown in a romantic relationship. Now, the positive side of that would be that it probably wasn't good for you anyway, especially long term. So chin up if that does happen to you, and know there are better days ahead for you and better people. The last one, and this is on the 25th, 26th of Feb time, we have Mercury, planet of communication, squaring Neptune. So this basically says on these days, confusion will definitely reign, especially with regards to any kind of communications. You could get caught up in daydreaming as well, so you've got that Mercury thoughts and Neptune, which is dreaming. And sometimes that can't be a bad thing, but you don't want it to sort of rule you or make you make decisions that may be, up high in the sky. So it's best, could be useful for undertaking spiritual studies or attending a spiritual event that enlightens you, for instance. And I know I spoke about that for the 12th house effect when they have your eclipse there. But then this is the effect of Neptune. So that's on the 25th, 26th of February. Well, that's it for me for February 2018. Come back next month and check in for March. I will be posting my posts on my website at elpasastrology.com for my new moons and full moons. So please come back and actually read what I have to say. If you've got any comments, please make them. As usual, I would be delighted to do your personal chart. Go to my website and look at the services tab, and then just contact me and we can go from there. Take care, everyone, in this February 2018. I look forward to seeing you soon.